Hey, Facebook. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. How is your week going? Last week and the week before, we were dealing with a very spinning energy. And we talked about that energy and we talked about what are the things we could do to keep ourselves grounded in the midst of that energy. And it was something that was really difficult to deal with, right? Hey there. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. It was something that was really, we could feel it. And it was a repetitive thing. And I'm so glad that wasn't the energy that was brought in this week. But it was interesting. I woke up on Monday morning and the message that I got is there's going to be a force behind your creation. There's going to be like a breath that's going to enter into what it is that you've already created. Isn't that beautiful? Yet we were dealing with this spinning energy where we didn't even know where we were going to end up on this wheel, right? So it's been a lot of energy. And I think that's why there's been a lot of sickness. There's been a lot of chaos. There's been a lot of things that have been going on that we would either determine good or bad. But the point is that whatever it is that we're wanting to create, whatever we're wanting to bring into our destiny, into our lives, this is the week where there's a force that's coming in to lead us in that direction. But a lot of us were caught in this, it was like a belief that we had to make a decision. Maybe some of you were caught in this, maybe you had decisions that you need to make. Maybe you're in a situation right now where you need to make a decision. And there's just this almost drain of energy, like the message is there's a force, but how is it we get that force? So that's the exciting part that we're going to jump into. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this week's message and read it to you. And it's this. Within love's essence is a powerful intelligence, a force that when directed wisely will push you beyond the bounds of normal consciousness. This clarity will ignite action, and by your action, your desired result. So this message was bringing in this idea that love has an essence of intelligence, number one, and that by directing, that it's a force, when we have this clarity that it's a force in our lives. And so it was interesting because, number one, it made me think about a story that Tony Robbins tells about a general. And this general was working with a team of very intelligent people, highly intelligent people that had been working for years to help overcome some of these problems with the infrastructure that was going on in the Persian Gulf. And the general comes in, and this team's been working for years to come up with these solutions, and he looks at their list, and there's about 10 things, and they're like, hey, General, just so you know, we've got 2 more years on this to really come up with the ideal solutions that we might want to take advantage of. He goes, you know what? We're choosing option number 5. And everybody looked at him like, what do you mean? We've got 2 more years on this project. We've got the money. We've got the time. Let's just wait. Let's wait till we have the aha moment, right? There might be something better out there. So let's wait to make the decision. But the truth is, his belief was it's better to be wrong than to not make a decision at all. And so that's really the energy that was coming in this week, is that in order to get clarity, we actually have to take action. Because once we take action, then there's a clarity provided. We either know that we made the right decision and things start to line up accordingly, or we get very clear messages that it was not necessarily a wrong decision, but there's a greater lesson, and then we can take that information and make another decision. But we're acting, and we're acting in purpose, and we're acting in this space of force, this force that's coming in this week. So here's the interesting thing. I don't know about you, but I woke up on Monday morning, and I was not feeling a force. If anything, I was still feeling that wheel of fortune. Like I was just feeling, where am I going to end up? What's going to happen? There's so many things going on in our life right now. And there were so many decisions that had to be made and big decisions that were going on. And so I took this information in and I was getting really emotional, and it was hard for me to, when we self-express and we're in that emotional state, energy is being taken out of our bodies. And so I didn't have energy to really make decisions and take action on things because I was indecisive and I was more emotional because I didn't have answers. So here's the cool thing. Are you ready? So with this message, it said that within love's essence is a powerful intelligence, and when directed wisely will push you beyond the bounds of normal consciousness. So here's what I did. I had this vision of this crazy wheel that was going on last week, and I began to put characters on this wheel, and they showed up in the ways of little AJ as a little girl and some of the, fears or things that were going on in my life at that time. And then me as a teenager, me as a woman who was going through a divorce years ago, me as a woman who was facing bankruptcy years ago. Like I was putting all of these pieces of me on a wheel, and I said, okay, you're all showing up in my life right now. So I want you to think of your life right now, and I want you to think of a decision that you're either wanting to make, or you're thinking of a force that's coming in this week that you want to give breath to your creation. And where is it emotionally where these characters in your own life are showing up? So if you start to put these characters in their position, I thought, let's do this. Let's create a round table discussion with all of these characters and find out why there's fear involved in this, there's sadness, there's all of these different things coming into these decisions that I'm having to make this week. And when I did that, it was very interesting. I ended up experiencing the emotion of each one of them. And when I allowed myself to really go there, I truly did go beyond the bounds of consciousness. Instead, I allowed myself to open up emotionally and really feel it. And I know I've talked about this before. There's pendulum theory about how it is we have to feel something almost to its height so that it can hit the pendulum and come back down so that we can take action, so that we can get momentum. And that's exactly what I did. So what if you were to take this idea into your own life and you could create this roundtable discussion with these characters that keep showing up emotionally in your own lives and say, hey, this is coming from me when I was this age. This is coming from me when I was this age. And they're all parts of us. They're still within us. And so we've got to be open to that. And then when we sit present with that, the beauty is I was able to feel it, and I really felt it. Like I allowed myself to cry. I set aside that time so that I could just get it out. And once it was out, this peace came over me. And then I said, okay, moving forward, if I didn't have fear, if I didn't have sadness, if I didn't have regret, if I didn't have all these different feelings, what would I do to move forward? What is the choice I would make? And then guess what? I started making those decisions this week, and the moment I made the decisions, things started moving in my life. So I'm hoping that's a big encouragement to the energy that's out there this week, because it's big, it's heavy, it's really pushing in on the things that are important to us, and I can feel it, and I'm sure you can too. So hopefully that is something that will encourage and inspire you. And I'm watching you guys. I have done this often. Yes, Deanna, thank you for commenting on that. It's phenomenal. It's like having a meeting with every aspect of yourself and giving them each a voice so that you can bring clarity. And it's not knowledge that's the power, it's clarity that is power in our lives. And a lot of times that's where this whole message comes together, in the fact that we take action and then boom, there's clarity, and then there's force, because I was sitting behind not wanting to take action, and guess what? I was just feeling weaker. I was feeling more run down. I was feeling more in my head, and I recognized that and just asked life, what can I do? And this was the vision that came to me. So I set this time. What do you say? It's all about changing your mindset. Amen, Jeff. So it really is. And it's not easy to do, though, when you are in an emotional state. And that's what a lot of this week brought in. And so I hope that's an encouragement for you to go out this week and take action to bring clarity. That's where it's going to come from. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for all your messages here. I'm just kind of scrolling through. Hi. You guys are awesome. Hello, what's the topic? So, Michael, yes, we're talking about how it is we can bring clarity through action and not thought. So hopefully those of you who just tuned in, you can go back and catch the replay of the full message. But I look forward to sharing our next Thursday night thought together. Thanks for tuning in.